Hello friends, welcome to Old Coins News. Today's coin may be small, but its story is truly big. This is a quarter dollar that has a deep connection with America's history, economy, and the world of coin collectors. Watch the video till the end. The story will surprise you. The 1967 United States quarter dollar is a very important coin in American numismatic history. Although at first glance it looks like a normal Washington quarter, in reality this coin belongs to a special transition period in U.S. coinage. The year 1967 comes during the time when America had recently stopped using silver in circulating coins. Because of this change, the 1967 quarter represents a turning point between old silver coins and modern clad coinage. For collectors, historians, and old coin lovers, this coin holds strong historical value, even if most examples are common in circulation. On the obverse front side of the 1967 quarter, we see the famous left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This portrait was originally designed by John Flanagan and first appeared on the quarter in 1932 to commemorate Washington's 200th birth anniversary. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, symbolizing freedom, independence, and democratic values. To the left of his portrait is a national motto, "In God We Trust," which reflects the spiritual and moral foundation of the United States. The year 1967 is shown at the bottom of the coin. Notably, there is no mint mark on this coin, which was intentional during this period. The reverse backside of the 1967 quarter features a powerful image of a bald eagle with outstretched wings, standing on a bundle of arrows. This design represents strength, readiness to defend freedom, and national unity. Above the eagle is a Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, symbolizing the unity of the American states. Around the edge are the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar. The reverse design remained unchanged on Washington quarters for many decades and is one of the most recognizable designs in U.S. coinage. The year 1967 falls within a very special time known as the Special Mint Set SMS period, which lasted from 1965 to 1967. During these years, the U.S. Mint did not produce regular proof coins, and mint marks P, D, S were removed to discourage coin hoarding. Instead, the mint produced special mint sets with coins that had better quality than normal circulation strikes but were not true proofs. As a result, all 1967 quarters, whether struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, carry no mint mark, making them unique compared to earlier and later issues. In terms of metal composition, the 1967 quarter is made of a clad structure, not silver. It consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded over a pure copper core. This change began in 1965 when the U.S. government removed silver from quarters and dimes due to rising silver prices. The total weight of the coin is 5.67 grams, the diameter is 24.3 millimeters, and the edge is reeded. While it no longer contained precious metal, its historical importance remained strong. The mintage of the 1967 quarter was extremely high, with hundreds of millions produced. Because of this, most 1967 quarters are common in circulated condition. You can still find them today in old collections, drawers, and sometimes even in circulation. However, coins in high-grade uncirculated condition or special mint set condition are much more desirable. SMS coins have a smooth satin-like finish and sharper details, making them stand out from normal circulation strikes. When it comes to value, a circulated 1967 quarter is usually worth face value 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, the value may range from $1 to $5, depending on quality. However, a well-preserved 1967 SMS quarter can be worth $5 to $20 or more, especially if it has strong strike, clean surfaces, and original mint luster. Rare cases of professionally graded coins in very high grades, MS or SP 67+, can sell for much higher prices at auctions. For coin collectors, the 1967 quarter is important not because it is rare, but because it tells a story of change in American coinage. It marks the era when silver coins disappeared from daily use and modern clad coins became standard. It also represents a time when the U.S. Mint took special steps to protect the economy and control coin hoarding. Because of this background, many collectors like to keep at least one 1967 quarter in their collection as a historical reference coin. In conclusion, the 1967 United States quarter dollar with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum is a powerful symbol of American history. While it may not be a rare or highly valuable coin in most cases, its importance lies in its role during a critical period of monetary transition. For old coin lovers, beginners, and history enthusiasts, this quarter is a meaningful piece of the past, simple in appearance, yet rich in historical significance. The 1985 United States quarter dollar is a classic example of America's modern circulating coinage from a Washington quarter series. Issued during the mid-1980s, this coin reflects a stable period in U.S. monetary history when the copper-nickel clad system was fully established and widely accepted. Although it is not a silver coin and not considered rare in everyday grades, the 1985 quarter is an important piece of collectors who study mint production, circulation patterns, and condition rarity. For many numismatists, this coin represents the everyday money of a generation. On the obverse front side of the 1985 quarter is the well-known left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This portrait has been a symbol of trust and continuity since it first appeared on the quarter in 1932. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, expressing the foundational principle of American democracy. To the left of his profile appears a national motto, In God We Trust, reflecting faith and moral values. At the bottom of the obverse is a date 1985, and to the right of the date is a D mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse backside of the 1985 quarter features a traditional heraldic bald eagle design used on Washington quarters for many decades. The eagle stands proudly with its wings spread, resting on a bundle of arrows that symbolize national strength and readiness for defense. Above the eagle is a Latin phrase, E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, one, a powerful statement about unity among the states. Encircling the design are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom. This reverse design remained standard until it was replaced in 1999 by the State Quarter Series. In terms of composition and physical characteristics, the 1985 quarter is made of a clad metal structure consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded over a pure copper core. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These specifications were introduced in 1965 and remain unchanged throughout the 1980s, ensuring uniformity and reliability in circulation and commerce. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of quarters in 1985, making the 1985 quarter common in circulated condition. During the 1980s, quarters were heavily used in everyday transactions, vending machines, parking meters, and public transport, which means many surviving examples show signs of wear. However, while circulated coins are easy to find, uncirculated 1985 quarters with strong luster and sharp details are less common, and collectors often search for high-grade examples of complete mint state sets. When it comes to market value, a circulated 1985 quarter is typically worth only face value, 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, the value usually ranges from $1 to $3, depending on eye appeal and surface quality. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can command higher prices, especially if they show exceptional strike quality and minimal marks. There are no major silver varieties or famous error types associated with this issue, but minor mint errors can occasionally attract collector interest. From a historical point of view, the 1985 Washington quarter belongs to the final era of long-running traditional U.S. coin designs. Just over a decade later, the U.S. Mint would introduce the 50 State Quarters program, which transformed American coin collecting and brought new designs into everyday circulation. Coins like the 1985 quarter therefore represent the last chapter of a classic design that had been used, with only minor changes, for more than 60 years. In summary, the United States of America 1985 quarter dollar, bearing the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum, is a solid and meaningful example of modern American coinage. While it may not be rare or highly valuable in most conditions, its historical context, Denver Mint origin, and place within the Washington Quarter series give it lasting importance. For collectors, historians, and old coin enthusiasts, this quarter serves as a reminder of everyday American life and the enduring symbols of the nation engraved into its currency. The 1986 United States quarter dollar is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series and represents American circulating coinage during the mid-1980s. By 1986, the copper-nickel clad quarter had been in use for more than 20 years, fully replacing the earlier silver issues of pre-1965. Although the 1986 quarter is not a rare coin in general circulation, it holds steady interest of collectors because it reflects the everyday economic life of the United States during a period of relative monetary stability. For many people, coins like this were a normal part of daily transactions, making them important historical artifacts of ordinary American life. On the obverse front side of the 1986 quarter is a familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design was created by sculptor John Flanagan and first introduced in 1932 to commemorate Washington's 200th birthday. Above Washington's head appears the word liberty, a timeless symbol of freedom and independence. To the left of his profile is the national motto, "In God We Trust," reflecting the nation's faith and guiding principles. Below the portrait is the date 1986, and to the right of the date is a D mint mark, identifying this coin as a product of the Denver Mint. The reverse backside of the 1986 quarter features a traditional heraldic bald eagle design that had defined Washington quarters for decades. The eagle stands with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows that symbolize strength, defense, and unity. Above the eagle is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which represents a unification of the American states into one nation. Around the outer edge of the reverse are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom. This iconic reverse design remained in use until it was replaced by the State Quarters series beginning in 1999. In terms of metal composition and physical specifications, the 1986 quarter is made of a clad construction consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded over a solid copper core. The coin has a weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a reeded edge. These standard dimensions were adopted in 1965 and continue consistently through the 1980s, ensuring compatibility with vending machines and financial systems across the country. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of quarters in 1986, making the 1986 quarter common in circulated condition. During this era, quarters were heavily used for parking meters, public transportation, laundromats, and vending machines, which means most surviving examples show moderate to heavy wear. However, while worn coins are easy to find, uncirculated examples with strong luster and minimal contact marks are more desirable and can be challenging to locate in top condition. Regarding collector value, a circulated 1986 quarter is generally worth face value 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, values typically range from $1 to $4, depending on the coin's eye appeal, strike quality, and overall preservation. Coins that have been professionally graded and achieve high mint state grades such as MS65 or MS66 can bring higher prices in the collector market. There are no major silver varieties associated with this coin, and it contains no precious metal content, but minor mint errors or exceptional condition pieces can still attract collector interest. Historically, the 1986 Washington quarter belongs to the final chapter of the classic Washington Eagle reverse design. Just over a decade later, the United States Mint would launch the 50 State Quarters program, dramatically changing the look of American quarters and increasing public interest in coin collecting. Coins like the 1986 quarter therefore represent the traditional style of U.S. coinage before this major transformation. In conclusion, the United States of America 1986 quarter dollar, bearing the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum, is a meaningful example of modern American currency. While it is not rare or highly valuable in most conditions, its historical context, Denver Mint origin, and role in everyday American life give it lasting significance. For collectors, historians, and old coin enthusiasts, the 1986 quarter stands as a quiet but important witness to the economic and cultural history of the United States during the 1980s. The 1987p United States quarter dollar is a notable coin from the modern Washington quarter series and represents a mature stage of America's clad coinage system. By 1987, the United Statesmen had been producing copper-nickel clad quarters for over 2 decades, and these coins were fully established in everyday commerce. Although the 1987p quarter is not considered rare, it holds steady interest among collectors because it belongs to a year with relatively low mintage compared to many surrounding years. For beginners and advanced collectors alike, this coin serves as a good example of late 20th century U.S. circulating coinage. On the obverse front side of the 1987p quarter appears a familiar portrait of George Washington, facing left. This design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, has been a symbol of stability and continuity since its introduction in 1932. Above Washington's head is a bold word liberty, representing freedom and the core ideals of the American nation. To the left of his profile is a national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase officially adopted on U.S. coinage to express faith and moral guidance. Below Washington's portrait is the date 1987, and just to the right of the date is a P mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse backside of the 1987p quarter features the classic heraldic bold eagle design that had been used on Washington quarters for decades. The eagle, with wings spread wide, stands proudly on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing the nation's readiness to defend liberty while maintaining strength and unity. Above the eagle is a Latin inscription, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which reflects the unity of the states forming one nation. Surrounding the central design are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom. This traditional reverse design remained in use until 1998, just before the launch of the 50-state quarters program. From a technical and physical standpoint, the 1987p quarter is composed of a clad metal structure consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded over a pure copper core. The coin has a weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a reeded edge. These standard specifications were introduced in 1965 and continued unchanged for many decades, ensuring consistency in vending machines, banking systems, and daily transactions across the country. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1987p quarter is its mintage level. Compared to many other years in the 1980s, 1987 saw a lower production of quarters, especially from Philadelphia. Many coins from this year were heavily circulated, and fewer examples were set aside in high-grade condition. As a result, while circulated 1987p quarters are common, uncirculated pieces are noticeably harder to find than those from years like 1985 or 1986. This gives the 1987p quarter a special place among modern Washington quarters. In terms of collector value, a circulated 1987p quarter is generally worth face value, 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated condition can range from $1 to $5, depending on luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. High-grade examples that have been professionally graded, especially those achieving MS66 or MS67, can command significantly higher prices at auctions. While there is no silver content or major design variety associated with this issue, condition plays a crucial role in determining its market value. The 1987p quarter was produced primarily for circulation, and no regular proof version was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Proof quarters dated 1987 was struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark and was sold as part of proof sets. Because of this, Philadelphia minted coins are always business strikes, making high-quality examples more desirable for collectors assembling complete mint mark sets of Washington quarters. From a historical perspective, the 1987p Washington quarter represents the final years of the classic eagle reverse design. Within just over a decade, this long-standing design would be replaced by the State Quarter series, which dramatically increased public interest in coin collecting. As such, the 1987p quarter belongs to the pre-State Quarters era and reflects a time when U.S. coinage focused more on tradition than on changing designs. In conclusion, the United States of America 1987p quarter dollar, bearing the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and E pluribus unum, is a meaningful modern coin with solid historical and collector appeal. While it may not be rare or highly valuable in circulated condition, its lower mintage and place in late 20th century U.S. coinage history make it an important piece for collectors. For those who appreciate American monetary history, this coin stands as a quiet yet significant reminder of continuity, national identity, and the evolution of U.S. currency. The 1980p United States quarter dollar is a representative coin of America's circulating currency from the early 1980s, a period marked by economic change, inflation concerns, and strong everyday use of coinage. By 1980, the Washington quarter had already been in continuous production for nearly half a century, and the copper-nickel clad composition introduced in 1965 was fully accepted by the public. Although the 1980p quarter is not a rare coin, it holds historical and educational value because it reflects the daily monetary life of the United States during a challenging yet transformative economic era. On the obverse front side of the 1980p quarter appears the iconic left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This portrait was designed by John Flanagan and was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Above Washington's head is the inscription Liberty, a core American ideal symbolizing freedom and independence. To the left of Washington's profile is a national motto, "In God We Trust," expressing the country's faith and guiding moral values. Below the portrait is the date 1980, and to the right of the date appears a P mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse backside of the 1980p quarter features a traditional heraldic bold eagle design that had been used on Washington quarters for decades. The eagle stands with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength, unity, and the nation's readiness to defend liberty. Above the eagle is a Latin inscription E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which reflects the unification of the American states into one nation. Surrounding the central design are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom. This reverse design remained standard until 1998, just before the launch of the state quarters program. From a technical standpoint, the 1980p quarter is made of a clad metal composition consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded over a pure copper core. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These specifications have become the standard for quarters since 1965 and ensured smooth operation in vending machines, parking meters, and banking systems across the country. In terms of production and mintage, the Philadelphia Mint struck a very large number of quarters in 1980. Because of this high production, the 1980p quarter is very common in circulated condition. Most examples show signs of wear, as quarters were heavily used in everyday commerce during this time. However, while circulated pieces are easy to find, uncirculated examples with strong original luster and minimal contact marks are more appealing to collectors, especially those assembling complete Washington quarter sets by date and mint mark. When it comes to value, a circulated 1980p quarter is generally worth face value 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, values typically range from $1 to $3, depending on overall quality, strike sharpness, and eye appeal. Coins that have been professionally graded and achieve higher mint state grades such as MS-65 or MS-66 may sell for higher prices, particularly if they show clean surfaces and strong luster. There is no silver content in this coin, and it does not belong to any major rarity category, but condition is a key factor in determining its collector value. Historically, the 1980p Washington quarter represents the early 1980s period of U.S. coinage, just before major design changes that would come later in the century. At this time, U.S. coin designs were still rooted in tradition, focusing on long-standing national symbols rather than frequent design changes. This would eventually change with the introduction of commemorative programs like the State Quarters series in 1999, which renewed public interest in coin collecting. In conclusion, the United States of America 1980p quarter dollar, bearing the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum, is a solid example of modern American circulating coinage. While it is not rare or highly valuable in most conditions, its historical background, Philadelphia Mint origin, and role in everyday transactions give it lasting significance. For collectors, historians, and old coin enthusiasts, the 1980p quarter serves as a meaningful reminder of America's economic and cultural landscape at the beginning of the 1980s.